Good morning. You're listening to FloorDaily.net, and I'm Kemp Harr. I'm in Salt Lake City, and I'm with Eric Demaree at the Carpet One summer meeting. Eric, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Kemp, how are you?
I'm great. It's good to talk to you. You're in Salt Lake City, and this is the first time you've been out here, right?
Yeah, we tried a new venue, something to excite the members, someplace we haven't been. And, Salt Lake's beautiful. The weather's been fantastic. And tomorrow night, we got a spectacular closing celebration. We're going to go over to where the Olympics were held in 2002. It's going to be really cool.
You're running a very high-energy, great meeting. I want to get into some of the highlights. Before we get into that, though, let's talk a little bit about the number of members, the health of the membership, and potentially even the number of new members you have.
Well, we had 8 new members and about 6 new owners. So the health of the membership's great. We just came off an all-member survey, which we do every other year. We got the highest ratings ever in the history of the company by the membership, their satisfaction with both the management and the membership. We had over 94% of our members participate in a survey, which the survey company said they've never seen anything like it. So they're very engaged. And if you've been walking around, when business is good and healthy, and it is, members are very happy. And I spoke to dozens of them, and they all said the same thing. If I had more quality installers, I could grow even more. So the industry has an issue that we don't have enough younger quality installers to continue to grow the professionally installed side of the business. And it's something that we're addressing. We haven't come up with the right strategy yet, but it's a top-of-mind topic to try to figure out what is it that we could potentially do to help fill the need for qualified installers.
We got a press release on Floor Daily that we ran. It said at the end, who is Carpet One, and it said you had 1,000 members. That's all in, and that's with some foreign members as well, right?
That's correct. That includes licensees from Australia and New Zealand. Of course, we have Canadian members, so it's pushing about 1,000 in total.
Is this meeting mandatory for your members?
We require every member attend both conventions. But like a cooperative, if they elect not to attend, there's a little bit of a financial slap because we need to support our supplier community that invests very heavily in supporting these conventions. But we're pretty good. We get about 80%. And some of them, legitimately, they're smaller, mom and pops. They got 1 or 2 employees, and it's very difficult for them to get here. So we handle them one-on-one after the convention's over, make sure they're taken care of and they understand everything that's coming and all the topics that we discussed. We live streamed the product and merchandising portion. We're trying to keep everybody, even the smallest members, engaged in the cooperative.
Let's talk about your theme. It's Own It. And what you're talking about there is the customer experience. Like I said, I've been impressed today, especially your consultant you brought in, this Scott McCain. Give our listeners a little flavor for this theme and how you think this is going to help your members.
Well, there's 3 portions. And we picked a persona called Karen as a target customer. Now, we did this about 5 years ago at a convention, and she was the typical profile, 45 years old, married, a kid, a dog, career, technically savvy. And we said to the members, you have to own the experience along her entire path to purchase, or what we're calling the journey to find the perfect floor. And through a series of videos, presenters, third-party experts. We had experts here from House and Google, and we are showing the members what Karen experiences through her eyes. So after each piece of the video, first, she wants floors. Second, she wants the search online. Third, she finds a Carpet One. Then she goes on the website and learns. Then she schedules an appointment. Then she engages with a certified flooring consultant. Then she has her home professionally measured. And then she has a healthier installation completed. And she's so thrilled, she goes back online and puts a review. And then there's after the review, the after sale. And we talked about that entire journey. And graphically, you saw we put it in a continuous circle. And I think the members enjoyed seeing the continuity of the presentation.
Let me chime in on that. There are, I think, 12 or 13 steps, and the neat thing is you rode with Karen through these steps, but then as you got to each position, you brought an expert in. Let me give it, for instance, so the listener knows. There's the search process, the initial online internet search, and you brought in an expert from Google to talk about that process. And then there's the social proof part of it, and you brought the House people in talking about online reviews. It's very well done. You have a tremendous support staff, don't you?
Yes, we do, in every piece of the business. From day one, when Howard and then Alan and they hired Sandy, they said we have to be more than a buying group. We have to offer management. We have to offer marketing services. Of course, we have to offer product and exclusives. But the company wasn't really built on, how low you can buy a product or how cheap. It was built on how do we make the product more desirable so that members can sell it at a higher price and make more money. And we followed through on that kind of commitment in our mission. Somebody asked me the other day, what does Carpet One do? I said, we help small entrepreneurs and businesses compete more effectively in the marketplace. And our company focuses on three things. How do we increase and sustain profitability for every member? How do we attract and engage and convert more customers so that we build a business for the members? And the last one is how do we help them with their mix and purchases through the cooperative so it improves their rebate revenue? And those are the three things that drive us. So this convention was all about each one of those pieces through the eyes of the consumer. Own the experience online, and then how do you own it in the store based on what she wants, and how do you own it in the home so that you provide a far superior customer experience than what the competition can offer.
Another thing that you're doing now, you're putting more emphasis on this RSA training, and you're actually coming up with a certified program. Everybody knows if you train people, you get better results in your business.
And if you think about it, and you have to earn these certifications. Look, you don't give your taxes to somebody that's not a CPA. We all know the value of professional certification and a certified life underwriter, a doctor, a lawyer, et cetera. We believe that every single person associated with Carpet One Floor and Home and our stores should be certified flooring professionals.
All right, one last thing, two kind of soft things that I'd like to point out, if I may. You're a publisher. You published your book, and you're giving it to your members here. Talk briefly about that, if you would.
I wrote it about 6 years ago, and in the process, I was kind of reliving through a fable my experiences when I was with one of the home centers. A very important person in my life, I modeled it after. And it's a simplistic story. I mean, the byline says how old world principles can help modern day retailers. And I was concerned that with all this focus on technology and the millennials, and guys, get back to the basics. People buy from people they like. People buy from people they trust. People buy from experts. It's people. And what can you do to really develop people and make that investment? So that's kind of what the story is all about. It's simple. And I was fortunate enough to have Dr. Robert Rome, who is down in Atlanta with Personality Insights. I said, would you contribute to this? And if you will, I'd just like to give it to our members. It was fun. I kidded everybody. It says, good bathroom reading material.
Yeah. One last thing while we're talking about people is a little sad note, and that is about Mike Blanton with Dalton Carpet One. He was killed this year. And when I come to these meetings, there are a few people that I really like to engage with, and he was a real pro. I mean, not only was he Carpet One, he was Starnet and running a fantastic business, and we're going to miss him, aren't we?
He was the absolute best. Anything we asked of him, advisory council, ring meetings, he would always say, no problem, I'll help out. He did something very special for me. My daughter is a teacher in New York City, and she wanted to move back to Atlanta because she had a baby. And she said, Dad, I can't raise this child in New York City. I went to the University of Georgia. I want to try to move back to Atlanta. I called Mike. Mike sent me an email with all these contacts, people he knew, deans of private schools, and two of those people called my daughter. I forwarded her the email, and she was so taken by that. And I said to Mike, this is unbelievable that you took the time to do that. And two of these people called my daughter back and said, look, we think the world of Mike. If he recommended you, we absolutely want to talk to you. And I'm happy to tell you that my daughter just moved to Atlanta 2 weeks ago. She took a brand new job at a private school. And, I think about Mike all the time, every time I see my daughter. And that's who he was. He was just such a magnificent guy. And you knew him well. I mean, name anybody that didn't think the world of Mike. He was such a tragic, senseless loss.
Definitely. All right, Eric, it's great to talk to you. Again, been talking to Eric Demaree here in Salt Lake City at his summer Carpet One convention. He's president of Carpet One, and you've been listening to Kemp Harr and FloorDaily.net.